Hey, yo, hey. Today we are talking about mental overwhelm. If you are new here, my name is Galanda B. I am an emotional awareness coach dedicated to helping you connect and understand your emotions through mindfulness, enabling you to experience greater joy and peace in your life. Okay, today's topic, as most topics, come from personal experience, y'all. So, this week, I had mental overload, right? I had 3 meetings in the span of, let's say, about 6 hours. The first 2 meetings was only half an hour between the two of them. And then there was about an hour and a half between my second and my third meeting, right? At the end of the day, I couldn't believe that I had did so much talk. I was so tired of talking, y'all. So tired that I posted about it on my personal social media. And I told folks, people that I talk to often, I was like, look, I'm not talking to nobody for the next 2-3 days. Like, I need a break from speaking and the energy that is required to have intelligent exchange with other humans. It was just too much, right? I thought this was a good topic to share because there are a few tools that I engaged in order to get through this process, right? Well, first, let's start with what is mental overwhelm. It's when you feel excessively stimulated, might even feel agitated, which was my personal case. You might feel drained, which I absolutely felt. And this comes from what we can call emotional residue from interacting with other people. Now, mind you, none of my interactions were negative. However, whenever you interact with other people, there's some sprinkle of whatever their energy is with your energy that is left over. And that's the emotional residue. Okay? You may not realize how much emotional residue you are carrying around until you crash or you snap. Now, in my particular case, I was on a borderline snap. Thankfully, I live alone for the most part, and there was nobody else to snap on. Okay? The thing is that mental overwhelm is not just mental. It is physical and emotional too. Okay? I started to feel some aches in places that I have not felt aches in a really significant period of time. I also could feel that I was getting snappy and agitated, which I would categorize those as emotions, right? The key here is to be able to identify when your emotions are shifting in any kind of way. Notice when your body is reacting in certain ways. And you do this with mindfulness, being present in the moment, which oftentimes can be really difficult when you're going from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing. Which is what happened because I had so many obligations, one behind the other, that I didn't realize the residue that was residing or staying with me as I carried it on to the next one. Now, the emotional residue was not just from the client meetings. it was also from my interactions with other people. Yes, just regular conversations as well, right? However, when I realized that I was having some shifting emotions, some shifted physical states, right? By being mindful, paying attention to my body, paying attention to how I was feeling in the moment, not judging it, right? But just noticing that it was outside of my own baseline, then is when you have the opportunity to do something. And I like to emphasize the mindfulness as a practice for emotional awareness, because if you don't know what the heck is going on, how can you then remediate it, right? You have to know what's going on before you can make any changes, okay? So, what can I do when I am feeling mentally overstimulated or overwhelmed? Y'all know my favorite. The pause. The breath is the number one thing. In my particular case, I coupled the pause with some intentional deep breaths with a change of location. Because many of these meetings took place in front of the computer, I moved myself from in front of the computer to another space to take my deep breaths, right? So I paired the pause. Now, sometimes you may not be able to move, and then you can just take a deep breath, right? Even if you feel like you can't physically move to another place, you can change your orientation. Turn to the right a little, turn to the left, right? But take the deep breath and follow the breath in through your nose, into your lungs, allowing you to feel it fill up your lungs, give what it needs to your body, and then your lungs collapsing and expressing the air back out your nose. The pause is always the first choice for me. I'm highly recommending the pause for you as well. Now, another option is to release with movement. And this could be dancing, it could be clapping, it could be skipping, it could be jumping up and down, it could be turning around in circles. Why do you think kids are always moving? Because they are trying to expel additional energy that they have. It is scientifically proven to be able to dissipate built up energy with movement. So your mental overwhelm and this built up emotional residue can also be shaken up, moved, and hopefully in the motion of dissipating with movement. Play your favorite song, right? Jump up and down. If you have a hula hoop, I used to love a hula hoop. I don't have one where I'm at now, but I might be looking forward to get one, right? Hula hoop. Move your body in some rhythmic fashion to help break up the built up stagnation from that emotional residue that people have left with you, and maybe some from yourself as well. Okay? Movement. Another option to prevent before you get to the emotional overwhelm part is micro actions. So things like maybe intentionally enjoying a cup of tea. Maybe another option might be coloring or doodling. Another option might be journaling. Another option might be maybe just touching your plant. That used to be one of my favorite ones when I had a lot of plants. Okay? The idea is to take small moments in the span of your day where you may have a lot of activity that will afford you a similar pause with an alternative focus that the breath does, right? The pause is I'm paying attention to what I'm coloring. The focus is there. The pause is I am inhaling the aroma of the tea and noticing the temperature and the taste on my lips. There's still a pause, right? Where our initial option, the breath, the focus is on that. These micro actions can help mitigate the buildup of the emotional extra stuff that people have left with you. Now, mental overwhelm is real. Many people feel it in many types of situations. Its effect is not only on our ability to think clearly, but how we emotionally respond and how our body physically responds to the emotional residue of others. Emotional awareness can help you identify this early with the practice of mindfulness. And once you've identified it, then you can use the tools, the breath, movement, or preventative micro actions to help mitigate mental overwhelm. I use them, and I want to share with y'all so that you can use them too. If you have experienced mental overwhelm, let me know. And if you watch this video and then find that you use these steps, come back and tell me if they worked for you and what you thought about it. Until next time, bye-bye.